Here we go.
Rockford's home for Classic Rock 96.7 The Eagle. Good morning. It is Double T. It's time for more Comedy USA News with comedian Jared Dog. And live from the news desk, it's comedian Jared Dog. What's happening, Jared Dog? How you doing today?
Good. Yourself?
I'm well, thank you. Appreciate it.
Hey, man, last week we were talking about St. Patrick's Day and how rowdy it can be for comedy nights. I want to crack into that a little bit, but would you like to hear about the family experience here in Las Vegas?
I definitely want to hear about your family experience in Las Vegas, especially, some folks from here in the Midwest, and see how the change affected them.
Well, so get this, unfortunately, we're not allowed to bring my 11-year-old gambling.
Though we would love to, right?
Yeah, found that out the hard way. For St. Patty's Day, get this, over spring break, he made an actual working spinning roulette wheel out of cardboard boxes.
That is awesome. I love it.
Yeah, I thought it was amazing. So we stayed in. We had a family casino night. It was somehow rigged to always land on red 3.
Yes.
So, needless to say, I lost my ass.
What, is he a big fan of Dale Earnhardt? What's the deal?
I don't know. I don't know about that, but at the end of the night, it came to an understanding. I don't have to pay him back now. I just have to add him back into the will.
So was he the house then?
Well, I was the house.
Okay, all right.
He cleaned me out.
Wow.
And when it was his money, it's fake. When it's my money, it's real.
Of course. Yeah, of course. So how much did you end up losing to him?
I just said it. I got to add him back into the will. It's going to have to come out of my life insurance policy. I don't even want to say the number. It's embarrassing.
Man, you got crushed by an 11-year-old. That's embarrassing.
I did. At cardboard roulette.
I hope you don't hit the real casinos, because that's not a good show.
No, the debauchery ensued later on that night after I had about 7 Captain and Cokes.
So did you hit the streets of Vegas for St. Patrick's Day?
We did not at that point. We stayed in. We did the family thing. But
okay, all right.
You know how we were talking about how live comedy can be dicey on St. Patrick's Day?
Of course, yeah, definitely.
And it was absolutely the case. Comedians were reporting left and right on social media. This is the last time I'm ever doing a comedy show on St. Patrick's Day. And I just think it begs the age-old question, Double T. Does getting hammered at a live comedy show make it funnier?
Probably not. No, I think it's funny if it's funny, and if it's not, it's not. It doesn't matter what kind of substances, drink, smoke, whatever. It is what it is. The extracurriculars aren't going to help.
Yeah, you have some pretty good insight on this, as do I, because we've all heard those MCs say, the more you drink, the funnier the show is. I've said that, you've said that.
Right, of course, you got to. It's part of. You're trying to sell booze too, along with people there at the comedy show.
Absolutely, 100%. And I ain't no scientist or nothing, but as a man who has done his fair share of experimenting with alcohol at comedy clubs, I think I can give you some more nuance.
Okay, I like it.
I mean, you've been to comedy shows. You have noticed that there are some people who are laughing the loudest.
Oh, yeah.
And they just also happen to be the ones who look like they've had a few too many.
Yeah, there are always those too, yeah.
So that's what I'm talking about. Alcohol lowers in your inhibitions. It, makes you feel happier. It makes you relax. So that all that adds up to being more receptive to humor.
Right. I think that, it does loosen you up. That is for sure. And makes you a little bit more open, and maybe to show your maybe a person that normally is a little calm when they hear a joke, be a little bit, get into it a little bit more and laugh a little bit more. But there's that line, Dog, that line. And unfortunately, I don't think most people know that line. Maybe it's 2 drinks, maybe it's 3 drinks, maybe it's 4 drinks, maybe it's more. But when you cross that line, the fun drunk turns into the bad drunk.
That's right, Double T. You bring up a good point. There's just too many variables. Alcohol might help make you laugh more, but it also might motivate you to chase a comedian out of Garden Prairie with a pool cue.
Oh, Garden Prairie. God love you.
I know what you're saying. There are definitely things that I laugh at when I'm drunk that I wouldn't when I'm sober, like the carpet.
Well, and have you ever found, it doesn't matter if it's a comedian or a band or a movie or any sort of entertainment, when you've had a few in you, you're like, and, when you get home later in the night, you're like, oh, that was the best show ever. I loved it so much. And then somehow you try to relive it the next day. Maybe there's some video or you're listening to the album or whatever, and you're like, what was I thinking? That was not good at all.
That's the subtitle of my memoirs. Comedy is subjective. It sometimes it enhances the experience, and sometimes it turns people into straight up knuckleheads, and that's just not cool, So basically, the bottom line is, if you can handle your booze and keep it together, then a couple of drinks can make the show better. But if you're a lightweight who gets belligerent after a few beers, and I'm talking to you, bachelorette parties, then maybe you want to stick to the soda and the chicken wings without any interruption. And just sit back, enjoy the show, let the comedians do their thing.
It's Bar Comedy USA News with comedian Dog. Dog, speaking of comedy shows, I know we got one coming our way very soon.
Oh, 100%. I'm so excited to talk about this. One of my favorites in the entire world, Dobie Maxwell, is going to be at the Screw City Tavern right there in Rockford, Saturday, April 15th. You're going to be there. And it's going to be one it's going to be totally off the charts. You guys are going to love it. Screw City Tavern and the Pub and Grub Comedy Tour. Just remember, laughter is the best medicine. And just like any medicine, adding alcohol may have adverse side effects. Like going to jail.
Thanks a lot, Dog. Always great chatting with you, my friend.
Likewise, my friend. We'll talk soon.
It's Rockford's home for Classic Rock 96.7 The Eagle.